Under the bright lights of the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, the atmosphere felt different that night. This wasn't Mexico versus the world. This was Mexico versus Mexico. Pride, legacy, and the WBC Featherweight Championship hanging in the balance. Guty Espadas Jr., the reigning champion, entered calm and composed, carrying the confidence of a man who had already conquered the division. Across from him stood Erik El Terrible Morales, undefeated, explosive, and rapidly becoming one of boxing's most feared young stars. Morales had built a reputation on aggression, speed, and ruthless finishing instinct. Fans expected another war, something violent, something unforgettable. When the bell rang, however, the tension in the ring told a different story. Instead of chaos, there was calculation. Morales, usually blazing forward with relentless offense, began measured and cautious. Espadas, tall and relaxed, used his reach intelligently, flicking sharp counters and maintaining distance. The early rounds became a battle of respect rather than destruction. Morales targeted the body with his left hand, testing the champion's defense, while Espadas answered with clean straight rights that snapped Morales' head back just enough to make a statement. It was immediately clear that this would not be a one-sided showcase. This was a thinking man's fight, a technical Mexican chess match with world-class stakes. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, sensing that something complicated was unfolding. Something far more tactical than anyone predicted. As the fight moved into rounds 2 and 3, the rhythm became clearer. Morales tried to raise his output, flurrying at the ends of exchanges to impress the judges, but Espadas remained composed. He stood straighter than most of Morales' previous opponents, presenting a taller target and forcing Morales to adjust angles he wasn't accustomed to navigating. Morales had built much of his success against shorter fighters he could overwhelm with speed and combinations. Here, he found himself reaching. Espadas parried jabs, slipped subtly, and returned crisp counters. Every time Morales lunged forward with a right hand, Espadas seemed to anticipate it, either blocking and firing back, or stepping slightly off-center to land his own straight punches. The champion's relaxed demeanor became one of the storylines of the fight. He didn't look intimidated. He didn't look rushed. If anything, he looked comfortable. Maybe too comfortable for a supposed underdog. Morales' punch volume remained slightly higher, and that activity helped him edge close rounds, but the quality of Espadas' counters made the action feel even. Commentators began noticing the difference in tempo. Morales wanted bursts, Espadas wanted control. The chess match intensified as neither fighter fully committed recklessly. Instead of the explosive firefight many expected, the fight developed into a cerebral contest of distance, timing, and patience. And slowly doubts crept into the arena. Was Morales dominating, or was he being forced to think harder than usual? By the middle rounds, subtle momentum swings became impossible to ignore. Espadas started landing cleaner single shots, especially the straight right hand, catching Morales as he backed out of exchanges. Morales, known for keeping his hands high and composure sharp, began dropping them occasionally, almost inviting exchanges. It was a risky habit against someone with Espadas' reach and timing. In rounds 6 and 7, the champion seemed to find a groove. He wasn't overwhelming Morales, but he was disrupting him. Morales' combinations looked slightly less crisp than usual. Some punches sailed over Espadas' shoulder. Others glanced off gloves. Meanwhile, Espadas' counters were compact and efficient. The crowd's energy shifted from expectation to suspense. This wasn't the Morales that tore through opponents in electrifying fashion. This was a more reserved, analytical version. Yet Morales still had bursts of brilliance. A sharp right hand here, a quick inside flurry there, just enough to reclaim momentum before it completely slipped away. That ability to surge late in rounds may have been the difference maker. Espadas would control the first 2 minutes. Morales would answer in the final 30 seconds with visible aggression. Judges notice strong finishes, fans feel them too. The fight walked a razor's edge, neither man clearly separating himself. It felt like a contest that would be defined not by domination, but by interpretation. Entering the championship rounds, the stakes amplified every exchange. Round 9 and 10 carried a sense of urgency. Espadas' corner encouraged him to increase risk, to surprise Morales with the right hand and press forward instead of waiting.
Morales,
sensing the closeness of the bout, tried to raise intensity, but showed signs of fatigue. His feet were not as lively. He retreated straight back more often, a technical flaw against a taller fighter with long arms. Espadas capitalized with well-timed shots, occasionally catching Morales flush enough to earn crowd reactions. Still, Morales remained dangerous. His speed advantage surfaced in sharp bursts, quick 3- and 4-punch combinations that stole attention. The fight tightened further in round 11. Neither fighter dominated, but both understood the magnitude of each second. Morales dropped his hands at times, almost taunting, perhaps trying to lure Espadas into mistakes. Espadas did not overcommit. The discipline of the champion kept the contest balanced. By the end of 11, commentators debated openly. Some had Morales slightly ahead on activity. Others felt Espadas' cleaner punches deserved more credit. The arena buzzed with uncertainty. This was no runaway victory. It was a pressure cooker, and the final round would carry enormous psychological weight. The 12th round arrived with everything unsettled. Both fighters knew this was their last opportunity to seal perception. Morales pushed forward in spurts, throwing flurries that electrified sections of the crowd. Espadas answered calmly, landing straight counters and refusing to fade. There were no knockdowns, no dramatic collapses, just tension, thick, heavy tension. When the final bell sounded, neither man celebrated wildly. Morales raised his gloves, but not with complete certainty. Espadas walked back composed, confident he had done enough to defend his title. Then came the scorecards. 116-112, 116-112, 116-112, unanimous decision for Erik Morales. The word unanimous echoed loudly because the fight had not felt unanimous, it had felt competitive, extremely competitive. Some believed Morales' higher activity secured the win. Others argued Espadas' accuracy and control merited either a draw or a narrow defense. Yet the official verdict crowned Morales, preserving his undefeated status and pushing him forward toward bigger matchups in the featherweight division. Espadas accepted the loss like a champion, showing dignity in defeat. Morales claimed he boxed smart, that he did enough. In the end, the fight wasn't remembered for brutality, but for debate. It was a reminder that in boxing, perception can shape legacy just as much as punches do. And sometimes, the quiet wars spark the loudest arguments.